Hello there, it's me again. Not really much to tell you about this week. I'm going through a very massive life change at the moment, so I've not had a chance to do much in the way of buying games or having pickups for you. And I also managed to rear end someone in the car this morning, so I'm having a really good time of it. I have done I've done one of the gameplay videos I said I would, but that will still come. But because I've got a complete lack of pickups to show you, as you may have noticed, there is a complete difference of scene behind me today, and that's because I've come down to Suffolk to visit a friend of mine, and that friend is Retro Gamer Thomas from the Unofficial Controller podcast.
Hey.
How are you, Tom?
I'm very well.
Right, for anyone who actually watches this, who doesn't know anything about you and the podcast, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, as you say, people just call me RGT from the Unofficial Controller podcast, weekly gamer podcast. There's normally me, George, Seb, Bobby, and Marathon Gaming, who you might know on YouTube, Scotty. And we've been going probably 5 years, 240, 50 episodes. But yeah, you can catch us download us on anything you want, and we're all mad gamers really, from retro to modern. We try and do a bit of everything, have a bit of silly lore with the podcast, good Discord. But yeah, so that's pretty much me really.
Fair enough. But the key thing that I do want you to share as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about your collection and how it has been stored up till now.
Well, up till now it was it was like a converted workshop. I call it the Game Shed, which was like a 20-foot, 12-foot converted, like I say, workshop. And up for the last 12 years, it's just been a work in progress and made it into more like, well, say like a console arcade, I suppose. So everything's wired up, you can play in bits and pieces. But that's now been not moved, but there's a new one on the horizon. So different shape, different style, different build. Everything's gone in storage at the moment, hence we're sitting in here and not in the empty shell of a game shed. But yeah, that's how I've always had my games room, which is a lot of stuff since I've been moving it. We were talking off camera, and there's a lot more stuff than I thought I had. But so that's pretty much how I done it, rather than having a games room in the house. Done it outside and done it that way, done it on a budget, and it's quite an affordable way of doing it really.
And Tom's Game Shed is what inspired me to do my garage the way it is, so big thanks to Tom for
no problem.
The help he's given me over the last few years. What kind of stuff do you collect for, Tom? Is there a particular thing you like, or a particular focus you have?
Originally, when I first started collecting, Mega Drive, PS2, because they still are my favourite two consoles of all time. And I had so much fun with those consoles that when I first started collecting, I thought, it's affordable now to buy those games that you didn't play back in the day. But then, as I started collecting, as we all do, I started thinking, well, I had a Mega Drive, but I didn't have a Super Nintendo. And when, this was a lot of years ago, by the way, when I looked, you could pick a Super Nintendo up for £10, £12. So I thought, well, I'll get a Super Nintendo, and then I'll get the games my friends had on their Super Nintendo. And then I started thinking, well, when I had my original PlayStation, people had N64, so I'll get an N64. And then I started chasing the games that I didn't play back in the day and the consoles I didn't have. And then that opens the world up, because then you start looking into the system and you start finding hidden gems and you start finding versions of games you haven't played, and then that just spiraled out of control to what I am now. So I've got, there's not many I haven't got, I would say. I mean, there's a few obscure ones, but I probably wouldn't collect for, because I like to have a console that you can play, even though people take the mick out of me for having an Atari Jaguar. But there's still a handful of decent games on there, which is worth playing, and there's a big homebrew scene, so it's worth, in my eyes, getting that console. But so pretty much anything really.
I remember in my first year at college walking past Game, and in the window they were selling a boxed Atari Jaguar with I think 6 games, and it was for about 30 quid.
Yeah.
It sat there for months.
There was stock everywhere of that. I got lucky with mine, because when I first started collecting, I thought, I wonder how much Jaguars are, and I got a boxed. It was open, but the guy, he said to me, he's being honest, he said, I've opened it, I looked in it, and I've never actually plugged it up. So it was still in the bag, sealed inside, and he had the original John Menzies receipt where he bought it from, and it was in the John Menzies bag, and I paid £80 for it.
Yeah.
Box. Nowadays, that's going to be a lot more than that. But I was just lucky back when I bought it. But then you start looking into it and thinking, oh, actually, I'd like Alien versus Predator, or I'd like to try the Sensible Soccer on it, and then
Yeah.
you can start delving in. There is, although it's quite known as a bad console, you can find games for it that's decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of everything really. I'll go through stops and starts of what I sometimes will go all Super Nintendo and then I'll PS1, and I'll go through little waves of what I'm collecting for really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many games and consoles would you say you've got in your collection at the moment?
Games wise, I would probably say the last rough count was about 3,500. Consoles wired up, ready to roll, which is how I had it before. I think I had, I can't remember, it's 25 or 28 consoles wired up with a mixture of CRTs and modern screens HDs, because I've also got like a Retron 5, which is handy.
Yeah.
And the reason I went for the multi-screen is because it's nice having the shed set out, but if you've only got one TV set up, but you've got 5 people in there, that'd be nice to have a multitude of screens. So, and also like things like I'll have the GameCube, but I'll have an original Wii that you can play GameCube on as well.
Yeah.
Because then that gives you the option of running 2 GameCube games at once. So it's things like that. But yeah, I'd say roughly about 3,500 games. Console-wise, I've probably got about 35 consoles, but wired up normally running is about 25, 28, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, easy to see it's a problem.
Is it a problem or is it a passion?
It's not a problem for me.
That's the big question.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion. I mean, and I've been collecting 15, 17 years, something like that. And I've never waned on a day where I thought, you know what, I'm done with this now. No, I've never had that.
Yeah.
It excites me reading about new homebrews. It excites me finding a cartridge game in the charity shop, even if it's just Barbie or something. I love the chase. I love playing them.
Yeah.
I love the whole scene. I love the community. Well, I say we met through the
Exactly.
community.
That's exactly how we met.
So things like that, I think it's brilliant, and I've never had a day where I just thought, no, I'm done with it. It is a passion, and yeah, it keeps your feet in the ground, keeps your mind ticking over when you're not at work, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And you've also moved into podcasting as well, which is
all through.
Yeah,
it was weird because as well, we've both been in retro gaming now, so we've done Collector's Corner, and I done mine years ago, 2016 I believe, and that was the same from that. I was in there, and then people contact you, and would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? And then obviously, I then met George through Instagram, through that side of things, and then the podcast, and then everything sort of all leads off it. So just from wanting to play some old games, I'm now podcasting, and not so much this year, but last year was travelling the country, going to conventions and doing stuff for the podcast, which is brilliant. And that's all just opened up from me wanting to play a few old games. It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
And the community now is is stronger than ever. I mean, we've got people like obviously Marathon Game, like we said, Scott, who's on the show, and 2 of our presenters are American, which we would have never have met if it weren't through gaming. So there's so many, brilliant people in the community you meet. And before you know it, you're mates and you're meeting up at places, and fantastic. I would like to say I won't have it any other way. So.
Brilliant. Should we do some pickups?
Let's do some pickups.
Right. I've only got a couple, so I'm going to do mine first.
Yeah.
And you've emptied a massive bag. So,
I'm probably going to show what issues I've got in a minute. So.
So my few that I've got is I've got a couple of demo discs.
Yeah.
So I've got this one, which is volume 47 from PSW, where the lead game from it was Getaway Black Monday.
Ooh.
Which is one I've never played before.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Actually, and obviously Mike Grace, who we've had on the show, good friend of the show, was
which is Retro Gamer Boy.
Yeah, on YouTube. Definitely check his channel out. And I can't remember if it's that one or the other one he got a BAFTA for, but BAFTA winner on those.
Yeah.
But good game.
I've also got volume 41 from the same magazine, with the lead game being Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3. And it's also got the bit for Final Fantasy X2, which tells us that it's got monsters, demons, girls in their pants. Guess all the adventure action right here. Yeah. The important thing is that it's got girls in their pants.
Yeah.
I've never played 10-2. Have you?
No.
No?
I mean, I don't know if they'd put that on a disc nowadays.
No, I don't think they would.
Final Fantasy 17, girls in their pants.
Oh,
I don't.
In terms of what you wouldn't get away with now, I've got a copy of Mean Machines I need to show you a picture of, because that is unbelievable.
But I love demo discs. They're brilliant. I've got a few of. I've got I think the most ones I've got are for original Xbox, but it's just something about
Having the demo discs.
yeah. And it was back in the day when you bought. I used to buy the magazines, and then you had that massive case on the front, and you'd think, oh, there's this one, or what play this, what play this.
Yeah.
And then just putting that disc in and playing for all these demos. Superb.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I'd do it again now. Not in the digital age, but I wish I'd do it now.
It's never going to happen.
No.
So, the only game that I've actually bought this week, I went to Omega's Emporium in Attleborough the other day, before everything fell apart. It's a nice shop. It's really small. The only thing that I can say of any criticism to it is it needs a good tidy up. It's just, you've got games everywhere and stuff being tested, just scattered all over the place. And other than that, it is really nice.
Mm.
They've got a really good selection of games. I managed to pick up a Mega Drive game for me. Well, I say Mega Drive, it's a Genesis copy, but I wanted to buy it because I wanted to get another movie game. And I picked up a Wii U game for Hannah as well while I was there. So the one that I've picked up, which brings me to the halfway point of getting all of the movie games for the Mega Drive, is Alien 3, which I think is a bit of a run and gun game. I've never played it before, but I know it's a very controversial opinion. Alien 3 is my favourite Alien movie.
Is it really?
It really is. I like the whole suspense and trying to get rid of the alien without using any weapons.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's my favourite one.
Yeah, but, I'm trying to. I liked all the first three. I think Aliens was my favourite movie.
Yeah.
But I have recently watched the Romulus.
Yeah.
And although my friend didn't like it, I really enjoyed it because I sort of took it back to that.
Yeah.
Feels like an original.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's if you like 1, 2, and 3, then you'll get that feeling with it. That's got that sort of spin off to it. But that's a great pickup. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So,
Genesis as well.
Yeah. So that means out of the 44, I've now got 22 of the movie-based games for the Mega Drive.
Wow.
There's some real expensive ones in there.
Yeah.
I think last time I checked, Demolition Man was about 150 for cartridge only.
Is that what that is now?
Yeah.
I was just saying this to my wife the other day, and when I was putting my collection away, there was things I didn't realise I had.
Yeah.
And I think, I remember buying that. I mean, like £5, or some of them like £2, £3.
If you say you got Demolition Man for £5, I'm going to have to do something.
I haven't got Demolition Man. And then I just look for eBay and think, are they really going for that now? Because I don't do anything for value, of course, but I only value it at what I paid for it originally. For some reason, I always remember what I paid for games. And so I always just say, that's not worth nothing now. And then my friends or sometimes go, you seen that's going for £80? You're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, you just lose track because it feels like yesterday I started collecting them.
Exactly.
But, you know.
The other pickup that I've got is one of the reasons why I came to see you today, but we've loaded it up into the car, so I'm probably going to have to just take a photo of it and then just put it somewhere on the screen about now, because it is massive and it's something that I'm really excited about, because I think I first came to see Tom's collection about 2 years ago, if not a bit longer ago than that. And it's something that I've cast my eye over enviously pretty much solidly since then. So yeah, it's a really exciting thing and I'm really happy to have it. I still haven't worked out where I'm putting it yet.
That's the perfect home for it. So yeah. I'm so chuffed you've got that. But,
so what games have you picked up over the last little while then, Tom?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it brief because it's a bit of a quiet. If you're watching in our Discord, you'll know all about this one, the Wing Commander for Super Nintendo. As you can see, this is the NTSC version, complete. I won't say which popular store I bought it from, but I'd actually ordered a PAL region unboxed version, and they sent me this instead. So I'm quite happy with that. I've got ways of playing region locked cartridges. So yeah, so I do like the Wing Commander series. Played, what's one I played? Was it 4? I think I played this year on the PS1. Really enjoyed it. You know, I know people don't like the FMV, but I quite like it. It gets you into the game and the missions, and the acting's good because you've got Mark Hamill in there, and always forget his name, guy from Back to the Future. He played Biff, Thomas C. Riley or something, is it?
It's Thomas something.
Thomas something. No, I don't see Riley, but anyway, he's in it. So yeah, I quite like those games. I've always wondered what a 16-bit version would be like, so I'm quite looking forward to having a go with that. And I'm not expecting anything like the PlayStation, and definitely not FMV, but I think it'll still be worth a look. So I got that.
Brilliant.
Final Fantasy 9.
Oh,
Never
I was
played.
say get showing that on camera,
Yeah,
especially the discs because
yeah.
they are
So
stunning for it.
yeah, Final Fantasy 9. Love the artwork on the discs. I mean, that alone is superb. Was never, if you listen to the show, you'll probably know I was never a JRPG player back in the day. Started getting into them now because I think I missed out on so many good games. So I've got like 7, got 8, and I thought 9. I've got then from 10 onwards. I think I've got them all anyway. But I just saw this for a really, really good price, and I just thought, well, add it in. Then I got that trio on the PS1 then, and I just love how, you know, when you see 4 discs on a game, you just think that's how much they wanted to bring their game across. They're willing to put a game over 4 discs on a system. I just think it's brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go.
I still regard Final Fantasy IX as the most beautiful game I've ever played.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
It's absolutely stunning, and it's the reason why I don't excessively regret selling a boxed Mega CD and 5 games for 40 quid. Because I managed to buy Final Fantasy IX for that.
Yeah.
It is so stunning.
Yeah, I spoke to a few people and they said, oh, graphically brilliant. They said, just look it up. So I looked up someone doing a little playthrough on YouTube, and I just thought they'd really pushed it with that. It looks really good. I like the angle, and even the pre-rendered stuff looks brilliant. It really
does.
You know, some pre-rendered stuff you think, oh, it's a bit ropey because the actual character you've got doesn't look part of the scenery, but on there it looks superb.
It is amazing.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Obviously, a lot of these are on hold to Manisha to build, but I'm thinking probably 8 weeks I should be about in, and we'll have to do
I'll
another
have to
video.
do a little tour of your new shed.
Yes,
it's ready to go.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant. We can do another pickups one then.
Yeah.
Got some loose cartridges for the Super Nintendo. PAL this time. Sensible Soccer. If you know me, you know I'm a massive fan of Sensible Soccer, and I think this is probably, I'm not saying I've got every version on each console, but I've got a copy for each console. So this is the last one I needed, which is Super Nintendo European Champions one. But then I'll try and get the variants now, like the World Cup ones, European ones.
Yeah.
So I always like to just compare. They're all pretty good versions. I mean, even the Jaguar one's decent. I know it's a 16-bit game on a 64-bit console, but even with that big old chunky control pad, it still plays pretty well.
Yeah.
So I like to play each version, and back in the day I was always big with this on the Amiga, but you know, and then obviously over to Mega Drive. So I thought I'd pick that up. That was cheap actually, which surprised me. And then this one I got, I can't read what it is now. I can't remember. Exhaust heat, that's it, it's a bit fading on the label. Just because I didn't have many racing games on Super Nintendo. When I was packing, this is all again from packing away, and I was thinking, well, I've got a couple of racing games, but nothing. And I thought, well, there's loads on there, I wonder what I can get. And I saw this for literally a couple of pounds, and I thought, well, I'll give that a go.
I can't say it's one I've heard of.
No, I'd never heard of it. I thought I'll give it a go, and if it's got any Mode 7 or anything in it, it's going to be pretty cool to play. So I thought, well, you never know. For that money, you might as well put it in your collection, have a go.
Brilliant.
And then this is a game I've been after for a long time. Equinox, which is like an isometric sort of puzzle game. If you know, if you played Spectrum, play games like Night Law and the Batman game that was on, it's very similar to that, but in obviously 16-bit graphics.
Okay.
Looks lovely graphics. I love those sort of games, like when they done sort of a love letter to them with Lumo on the PS4 and Xbox a few years ago. I love those sort of isometric puzzle games. They're quite fun to play. I think the best ones always look best on the 16 bits. Love that style of graphics. But you get this is another thing. You get people were, you know, on eBay were putting these up for £20-30 to go.
Really?
So that's why I've hung off buying it. I thought I'll just see what CX do it for £5.
Oh.
So sometimes CX are way under what people want on eBay. And it's a real clean, nice copy. So I thought, I'm looking forward to playing that. So
brilliant.
Equinox, that could be a hidden gem coming up. I've got some new Switch bits and pieces.
Have you?
Yeah. So I've got Arkham Trilogy on Switch. I dabbled with the Arkham games, but I wanted to go back and play through them. And I thought, well, I'll do it on PS3. I'll play it on the original hardware. Everything's packed away, so I can't play on PS3. So I thought this come up on offer, so I thought I'd buy it. Was really enjoying it. If you listen to the show, I was saying how good it plays. It released a bit broken. They've patched it.
Yeah.
I was saying how good it plays. and 60 locked frame rate. I'm not sure if it's 60, it might be 30, but locked frame rate, really smooth. And then I got about 2 hours in and fell through the map and was stuck for 10 minutes. And the only way I could see myself was putting my detective mode on so I could see a white outline. Then I died because I was flying around underneath the map. And then it sent me back about an hour before where I was on a previous save. So then I suddenly thought, maybe it is a little broken. And I haven't gone back to it yet, but I will do, because actually if you have it in handheld mode, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I've got the OLED Switch and that looks really good on there.
Brilliant.
And, you know, just to have them games on the go is really good. But yeah, I will go back to it, but it put me off a little bit because I thought, I've done all this. I've done this an hour ago.
Yeah.
My wife's been getting into the Switch.
Okay.
She was never really much of a gamer. I introduced her to Stardew. And now she's married to Stardew. She's like 200 hours in. Absolutely loves it, and so then she started thinking, oh, I wonder if I can play other games. She was always a bit confused with controllers and bits, so she bought herself a couple of little games. She's got Maze Mysteries game because she loves puzzle games. She's played all of Professor Layton's all the way through. She loved those, and the Spells and Secrets one. The idea of this one is she wants to see if she can play this okay, learn the controls, and then we're going to get a Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay.
But she thought that might be a bit too much for Jump, so she's having a go at this and she's really enjoying it. And same again. So these are peanuts to pick up. They're not much, you know. They're not well-known games, but that's great level for her to play.
Is that a plan to get Hogwarts for the Switch, or
I reckon the Switch, because she predominantly plays on. I've already got the PS5 version, but she predominantly plays on her Switch Lite. She took over my old Switch Lite, and she doesn't go many places without it now. She loves it. Which is really good, you know, whereas before she struggled to use analog sticks. Now she's through her menus, loving it. And then I really want to get the Switch 2 hopefully next year, and then she can have my OLED then. And so she's started to build a little collection up for herself. But yeah, she's enjoying those. And then this one
looks very interesting.
Black Future 88. Now I'm always on the lookout, as you know, hidden gems and bits. I love finding games that no one played. And this, I'll tell you, a good source of finding hidden gems now. On my Instagram, that'll always suggest Amazon will come up on Instagram. And they'll just put 10 games, you can flick through the pictures, and they're always random games I've never heard of. Black Future 88 come up, and I thought, I like the look of that cover. So I Googled it, had a look. It's like a cyberpunk, pixelated 2D roguelike, basically.
Okay.
Really, really good.
See, you've put me off now by saying roguelike.
I never used to like roguelikes. I used to hate them, and then I played Hades, and then that's just lured me in, because Hades, I absolutely adored that game.
I mean, my sons have started playing an online Pokemon roguelike.
Oh, okay.
Called Poker Rogue.
I didn't know there was.
And you basically kind of choose your starter Pokemon, and then you go on battle after battle after battle after battle with people using different teams.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you have to get as many of the different levels done. They absolutely love it. But I just don't like roguelikes at all.
The ones I downloaded one recently, forgive me, I can't remember what it was on my Switch, and that was a space shooter one. And the problem with that one is you go as far as you can, die, you come back, usual roguelike stuff. But this time you didn't keep no power ups. So you started from base again. Well, that's why I like Hades, and also another good one, Gear Shifters. Because you upgrade. So when you start again, you upgraded again. So the early levels get easier and easier, so you can go further and further. It's the ones where you actually lose everything. And that's, you know, you need to put hours and hours in. This one you upgrade again, so you keep getting stronger each time. So you'll die in the first 2 minutes on this, and then you'll upgrade and go again. It's really good, really pretty game. That pixelized cyberpunk style. The basic story of it is, I think there was like either a nuclear war or some big apocalypse, and so they didn't want time to go forward, so they just said we're always going to be 1988. And you just have to go through and get rid of these sort of bad guys who are running the city, and you just keep going that little bit further each time. And it's brilliant. I think it describes itself as a synth punk roguelike 2D action shooter. And I think that was £20 physical. So but yeah, really good, really enjoying that. I got PSP game. Now, people aren't going to be probably interested in this, but we were talking on the show the other week. George from the centres was on about fishing games. Now I started thinking about Sega bass fishing, and how I love that with the rods on my Dreamcast.
I've got that and a rod, but I've never played it.
Oh, so good. And even the voices on there will make you laugh, because me and my mate used to just play that. One, that's good with the rod. That's actually, even if you're not into fishing, that's they've turned it into an arcade game. You know, it's brilliant. But it's so funny because if you think you've got a large fish, then he lifts it up in front of the camera, and that's about that big, and he goes, small. Or then when he gets a really big fish, he goes, oh. So it's so funny. He's got to play it. But yeah, brilliant. So anyway, I digress a bit there. But yeah, so I saw this cheap Real Fishing Great Outdoors for the PSP. I really like the PSP. Try and play it as much as I can. And I just thought, do you know what? I quite like that. It's relaxing, having a go on the fishing games. I think it was like £1.50 or something. So I thought, I'll give it a go. You know.
Well, it's nice to see with a sports game that isn't a jockey-based game.
Oh God, don't go down that road. Yeah. Listen to the show if you want to know about jockey games. I've got some PS2 here. Excuse me while I just get there. Yeah, I've got Real Fishing again for the PS2. I've got a few fishing games with PS2, and I can't remember. There was one I played a few years ago, and it's actually really good. And it was like a 50p game. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I'll give these Real Fishing ones, because people say they're quite good. Now I've got the PSP version and Real Fishing 3. A couple of these I've picked up. One I've never heard of either of them. And I thought they looked quite interesting, and people quite rate them, so they're cheap. So that is Iron Aces 2, PS2, and Jacked, which almost looks like a Road Rash clone. So I thought, well, I'm always looking for my hidden gems. I mean, it is by Explosive, which sometimes
doesn't
can.
Normally,
it's not
fill
a
you with
mark of
confidence,
quality, but actually doing some research on it, it's actually quite well rated.
Yeah.
So, and I never really got on with the later 3D Road Rashes, so I thought, well, I'd love a 3D Road Rash game. So, I mean, same again, these were not much more than £1, £2 each. So I thought, well, we'll give it a go, you know, add it to the collection.
What are we on to now?
We're on to, well, I've got original Xbox and Wii. I'll go on to those.
Go on then.
Saw this in a local shop, had to get it. Legacy of Kain, Defiance, for the original Xbox. That's one I didn't have. I mean, I haven't got a massive original Xbox collection, about, I don't know, 130 games.
Not massive, just 130.
And this is one I've always wanted. Never seen it anywhere for sale, and then saw this. I think it was £6, and I thought, well, I'm going to grab that, because I always think these sort of, especially Legacy of Kain games, are good anyway. But I think these 3D fantasy medieval games always look so good on original Xbox. I mean, that's a powerful bit of kit, and I love the graphics on there, so I thought I'm going to pick that up. So that'll be a great one to play through. And same again, they're not expensive. I can never remember if I had this. This is literally in a charity shop, Link's Crossbow Training. I know it's good fun to play.
Have you got the crossbow thing to put the controller in?
Yeah.
I've definitely got that.
Yeah. Have you got the game?
I think I have.
If you haven't, I think I might have 2 copies, so you will have if you.
Right.
But it was in the shop for like £1. So I thought, well, I'm going to buy it just in case I haven't got it. But I thought, well, there's always someone in the Discord who might like it, you know, can have that. But yes, I remember playing it back in the day, and always had great fun with that. And I thought, that's always good if kids come round to the shed and that, pop that on, they can have fun, you know, shooting a crossbow and stuff. So yeah, just a little. It's not going to be a expensive or hidden gem game, but it's a bit of fun to play.
Yeah.
Then I'll move swiftly on to PS3. Lost me Grand Theft Auto 4, so I had to buy a replacement. And I had hell, because the first one I bought online, I mean, it was only like £4. I bought one online, never came. Bought another one online, and he sent me GTA 5 by accident.
Oh.
So then eventually I did get it. But yeah, that was literally just replaced. I don't know what happened to my Grand Theft Auto 4, but that is such an underrated GTA game.
See,
so good.
That's one of the few games I've A, ever pre-ordered, and B, ever bought a special edition of.
Oh wow!
So I had the one that had the like safe deposit box and the bag and stuff like that. I literally played about 4 hours of it, and I really didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's weird as well, because I know so many people that when this come out, friends included, who are GTA mad fans, and they said they didn't like this.
Yeah.
When you go back and play it, you actually appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
And to me, the city and the way the city is populated is better than GTA 5.
Yeah.
There's so many things that they added in this, little details that I just think are brilliant. And when you go back and play it now, I think it's awesome. And then I played the spin-offs with Lost and Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony, blah blah blah. But yeah, that was when DLC came on disc. But yeah, so I still have to have a copy of that because I think I've played through this about 5 times, and I will go back and play it again.
Yeah.
It's just a great game. I picked this up because I didn't really know a lot about it. Same thing. This is Genji Days of the Blade, PS3. Just looked interesting. I thought it looked really good. Didn't really find a lot out about it online. It was cheap, and that's sort of things I like. Games I never heard of.
Yeah.
On the systems I love, and they're cheap. So
It's
finally, give me a go.
Game of the Year sticker on it as well.
Yeah.
Best artistic design for 2006.
2006. That's almost a release game for PS3. So expect a lot of brains and 30 frames, but but yeah. So I thought, yeah, it looks really good. Give it a go and see what it come out like. And then finally, I saw this, which I'd never seen before. Ultimate Stealth Triple Pack. I've never seen these in a triple pack before, and I do believe they're all on the one disc, which they are. And I just thought that's quite unique. I think I've only got 1 or 2 of these triple. I've got a few of them on the Xbox 360, but not on the PS3. So I thought, well, yeah, give it a go.
So have you played the ones that are on there? So it's Thief, Hitman, and Deus Ex.
I've played Thief, and Hitman only played for a little while. I didn't get on very well. Deus Ex, I've got these individually.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was quite unique to have it. And I mean, that same again, it wasn't very expensive. But I'd never done that. They'd sort of done this sort of specialised stealth triple pack. I don't know what year this was from, whether that was it seems quite late, 2014. So that's
right towards the end, isn't it?
That's obviously when the PS4 was out, which is 2013. So they're obviously just doing budget, packing them together. So yeah,
squeeze the last little bit out that you can from it.
Yes. Epic Mickey 2 for Wii U. Basically, I picked that up because I love the Mickey games on Mega Drive.
Yeah.
And then because they're releasing the Epic Mickey on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I haven't got 2, so I picked that up. Same again, that was about £6-7. But I thought they're, great fun games. Same again, they look good. I like the Wii U's graphic style as well. I think in HD it looks really good. It's really underrated, Wii U. Same again, family, friends and kids come around, they can all have a go on Epic Mickey, brilliant. So I thought it looked quite good. And it's one I didn't have, so that adds to the Wii U bulk anyway. PS4, I saw this really unusual game in a shop, never heard of it, and that is 8-Bit Invaders. Almost looked like a bit of a spin-off of 3D Dot Heroes on PS3, which is quite expensive now, I believe, which was like sort of a Minecraft Zelda sort of clone.
The picture just there just looks a bit Minecraft Dungeons like to me.
Yes, yeah, very similar. I think it's got that sort of blocky destruction.
Yeah.
I think this was in game for like £2.50.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm just going to grab that because I just love finding games I've never heard of, putting them in, and thinking this is awesome. Why is no one playing it? So I thought that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
And just see what it's like. Didn't know a lot about it. Couldn't find out a lot about it, and I've never seen a second one or anything. So jury's out how good it is, but worth a shout. And then I just saw Just Cause 4 Steelbook. I've got Just Cause 4. Haven't got the Steelbook. I struggled a bit with Just Cause 4, if I'm honest, and I'm going to say I'm not a bit of a hoarder now, but I bought it because it was a Steelbook and it was cheap. And it isn't one I've got in my Steelbook collection. And I thought that tin looked really good. When I first saw it, I couldn't see that. I almost thought it was Uncharted.
Yeah.
And if you know me, you know I love Uncharted. So yeah, I just thought, I'm going to get that. Same again. That was, some Steelbooks are getting expensive, but this wasn't expensive at all. I'm just going to go add it into the Steelbook collection. And finally, sorry if I bored you because it was quite a lot. My 2 newest PS5 games, EAFC 25 and Astro Bot. Both loving both these games, to be honest. And I've said recently on the show we done our favourite games of genres, and I put that as my favourite platform of all time.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, I put that as my favourite platform of all time, and I think the reason is because of how polished this game is.
Yeah.
Graphically gorgeous. This is what I like, and this is where I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here.
No,
this is
feel
where
free.
this is where this game generation has struggled because they haven't utilised what they've got.
Yeah.
You know, we're now having a PS5 Pro to try and get 4K 60 when the PS5 can, but there's obviously a development problem there that people can't do it. But this is what I'm talking about. This game, as a platformer, is almost perfect. Graphically stunning. Controls are brilliant. At no time do you feel you've been cheated out if you die. It's because of, you know, it's time to get good, you know. And it's not that hard. It's got loads of content to keep you in with all the hidden PlayStation characters that are in there. And you can find, and the finding the bots on each level is good. You've got your little checklist where you can complete 100% each level to follow on.
Yeah.
Then what's the biggest selling point of a PS5? Well, for me, it's the controller. So you've got your haptics, your adaptive triggers.
Yeah.
They're all used in this. So everything, you've even got, you know, people forget that it's still got the motion in where you use that to fly your ship. So everything is used. Sound is amazing. Music is incredible. And all the Astrobot games had good music. But I just think as a platform game, I don't think there's one better. I know your Mario's are really good. And in Mario, you'll have, each game will give you a gimmick that you use.
Yeah.
This will give you a gimmick nearly every level.
Okay.
You'll have, you know, some of them get rinsed and repeated a bit, but you'll either have a jetpack that uses water so you can fire and jump. You'll have big fists. You'll have, at one point, there's a level I was doing the other day where you turn into Astrobot into a sponge.
Okay.
So then you absorb water, so you turn into a big, and you can feel the squelching through the controller as you're walking.
Really?
Oh, it's incredible. And then what you'll do is you'll see these little blocks, and then you squirt all the water out. That inflates the blocks, and you can climb up.
Yeah.
It's all little gimmicks like that. It's brilliant. So well crafted. There's not many games I'd ever give a 10 out of 10 to. Very few. This is very close to a 10 out of 10. So far, I cannot find a fault with it.
That is very high praise.
Yeah,
indeed.
that is brilliant. Yes, it's an expensive game for a platformer, but then, you know, Mario's are. And I know some people have platinumed this in 4 hours. I have no idea how that's possible. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even halfway, and I'm a good 10 hours in. I think if you explore all levels and take your time, you know, I reckon you can get 20 hours out of this. But yeah, definitely worth a go if you like platformers anyway, and you like Astrobot. Then yeah, SC25, yeah. It's the new FIFA games, blah, blah, blah. And the last 5 or 6 games have been small adjustments. This, I'm finding really good.
Yeah.
The whole style of play. Whereas before, you'd take your style over, there'd be the odd little change with a different shot or an OP thing, like an outside the foot shot that keepers can't say, but there was only small adjustments. If you go in playing like you did in the AFC 24, you will get a hiding. Yeah. Yeah, you need to change how you play when you play this, and I love it. I only play career mode. I don't play foot or anything like that, but it's so good because it's very the Man City style of play now. Yeah, teams will hold the ball off you even at the lower levels for ages. Yeah. So you can't just do a long through ball, run through and score. You have to build up play. You have to work it. You have to, and all the little coaching tips now. Your youth squad is now an academy, and you can play tournaments with your youth squad to improve them, and then you can see where they're changing. I might push him up into the first squad, you know, and then players can come through at 14 now as well. So it's really in depth, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think as well, because I pre-ordered, I mean, most games now are £70. I pre-ordered this, and then the price drops. They give me a refund. I think I paid just over 50.
Oh, lovely! So
I was quite pleased with that for how much modern games are. So I know I buy it every year. But this is the first time where I've really got that bug back because it's tough and you want to push your club on. And I always start in League 2, take a team up to Premier League if I can. And I'm Bromley in League 2 at the moment and building your stadium and getting all the nets you want, little details. Really, really good. Really good. So yeah, that's sort of the best iteration of FIFA. I know it isn't FIFA, but there's been for a long while. But yeah, that's... I was going to say my little pickups, but that's my pile of pickups.
That is your pile of pickups. So thank you for sharing those.
No, not at all.
Today, Tom,
not at all.
I had naff all to share.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we'll do another one, and then we'll keep our pickups to one side, and we'll do another one again and
Yeah.
go through them, can't we? And, yeah, brilliant.
Right, so before we go, where can people find you if they want to see more of you, Tom?
If you want to, I mean, I don't mind if you don't, because I want. But no, if you do, Instagram, Retro Gaming Thomas on Instagram. Haven't put much on lately. I will be doing soon with the new build, so you can follow the build through if you want of the new game shed as it's being done. It's going to be a bit unique, but you'll see as you follow it, different shape, different style, sort of custom built. So yeah, Retro Gaming Thomas. Same on YouTube. Most of YouTube is just for live streams when I do them. And then other than that is Unofficial Controller Podcast, which is YouTube. You can get it on Spotify, Apple iTunes, is on anything. Weekly podcast. There's, if you want to go back through the back catalogue, 240, it must be nearly 250 episodes now. So you can download those, have a listen through, come join the Discord, anywhere like that, Unofficial Controller Podcast Discord. And then you can catch up with people like George and Seb and Bobby. They're all on there and their links. But yeah, so mainly Unofficial Controller Podcast. Have a listen, see what you think.
Right.
Brilliant.
Thanks again, Tom, for
thank you.
welcoming me. I'll put my teeth back in at some point into your parents' home before they move out.
Yeah.
So
no problem at all.
with that, that's all from me. So see you next time.
See you.
Bye, Tom.
Cheers.